Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to my design studio. I am Kat, owner of Kat's Creations and More, and also Kat's Creations Reese. It just depends on if you're looking for me on my website or you're looking for me in my Etsy shop or some of my social media sites. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do to make a beautiful floral arrangement. Let me make sure I'm actually live because we're live. So this is amazing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me cover a couple housekeeping rules for you guys. You won't be able to save this video because the video is actually only playable in the Everything But Reese site. So if you are catching this on the 2-day virtual class, welcome. If you're catching this on a YouTube video that pops up later, again, welcome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to cover all the materials. And the one thing that I want you to understand is don't be intimidated by florals. I'm going to give you like the perfect formula that you could master, and then you can adapt that towards whatever you're making. I'm going to show you a couple of floral samples that you can use, and it's the same techniques, and we're just basically applying it on a much larger scale or a much shorter scale. So, see, we've got some people now, which is always a good sign, considering everything that's been going on in the Facebook world. Let me make sure. Hi, Urbina. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. So I need to move my laptop. I needed my laptop to go ahead and get signed in, but now that we're signed in, I don't need it anymore. So let me just set my florals aside. I'm going to shuffle my laptop off the tabletop so that we're ready to work. And then I can go ahead and pivot you down and show you all the things. So hang tight. We're going to go ahead and pivot down because I felt for a floral class, you kind of needed an overhead view. So I'm going to kind of push this one off to the side. Let me make sure my camera's being a little bit wonky right now, so just bear with me 1 second. There we go. Because it's super touch sensitive. There we go. We're all up and running and ready to go. So things you will need. A container to put your whatever you're going to build your florals in. This one I picked up at Hobby Lobby yesterday because our home is all farmhouse, so I liked this container. Plus, I knew in the back of my head approximately how big I had a floral foam block. So this is just, I forget what they call it. It's like a floral foam basket so that if you were adding your florals, it kind of helps give it a little bit of support, and it also prevents your floral foam from degrading or chipping apart. It kind of holds everything together. So you can get these through Amazon, and I'll post the affiliate link that goes with the materials list. I'll also post it in the group so that if you want these, you can purchase them. I love them because there's just so many different ways you can use them. So basket, and this is a 10 by 6. It is, and the one thing I didn't measure is how tall it is. It's 5 inches tall, not measuring from the handle, but from the basket down. So I'm just going to kind of set these aside till we can put all those things together. You're going to need some peat moss, Spanish moss. I think the other term for it that Hobby Lobby has is like forest moss. So whatever you want, all that's going to do is cover the top of that floral foam if you want. It is not necessary. This one I think I got from the Dollar Tree because I just wanted to try out because they do sell floral moss, but it's more of the natural kind of beigey brown looking. And then you're going to need your florals. So the florals that we are going to be using, because I want this kind of an everyday, but also kind of summery / transition to fall. So we're going to be using these sunflowers, which you can get at Hobby Lobby. So today, just through today, Hobby Lobby has their florals at 40% off. Now, as of Sunday, they kind of toggle. So always check your Hobby Lobby ad before you drive down there. It's every other week they toggle florals being on sale, either 40% off or not 40% off. And trust me, you want the 40% off. So you can buy them in a big bush like this. So you will need a focal flower. And a focal flower means the largest flower that is going to be in your arrangement. And you want a handful of those, somewhere between 3 and 5. So we're using sunflowers. Then you're going to need what I call a secondary floral. So it's not quite as big as the other one because we don't want it to take away from the impact of the second one. So we are using this golden trumpet, also Hobby Lobby. It's funny, they didn't have these yesterday when I went. So we're going to finish these up and add these to the floral arrangement. So there is that. And then you're going to come in with some greenery. So greenery is just anything that is going to fill all the empty space between your florals. And you can use eucalyptus like I have here. You can also use, Hobby Lobby had these on sale yesterday. This is their baby's breath, which is a really good filler floral. It's also a really good greenery color. So whatever you're doing when you're picking your florals is understanding that the greenery needs to coincide with your floral, which means you're not going to put in pine with a sunflower. You're going to kind of keep what would naturally be growing with sunflowers at that time. So if it's eucalyptus, it might be transitioning a little bit more to like the fall colors where you get the reds, the golden browns. That would be like a traditional color. Let me show you what that looks like. I happen to have one. Okay. So there are these. So these are eucalyptus in a transitional color. So these are leaning more into the fall palette. So the green is more summer/spring. So there's those. Then what you're going to need is some filler. So the filler consists of like your detail, your fun little pieces. So we're going to be doing, and I love when they put them together like this. Craft Outlet just started carrying these. So these are a Still Bee filler sprays, and they have them in yellow, pink, purple, red, I think, and blue. So you can pick them up in a wide variety of colors. And as you can see, follow the theme of the greenery. This is a little bit more on the brighter side to go with the bright yellow. Then we are also using, for our filler, we're using this bear grass, which to me reminds me of dandelions that quite haven't matured yet. But this is called bear grass. We're going to be using those in there. And then we're also going to come in with a white Queen Anne's lace. So you will need the focal flower, the secondary flower, your greenery, and then your base, or filler embellishments. These are things you're going to fill the holes with to make it look a little bit more complete. And if you follow the formula, you can make it work for just about anything. So let me show you some examples of what that would look like on a completed project. So you have something like this. So this is a floral arrangement done with sunflowers and cornflowers. We have those filler flowers again. This one is in white. We have the eucalyptus spray. We have a little bit of the pom-pom flowers. I forget what the actual term is for these, but they're my favorite. And this is just done in a basket that is geared for summer / this would be a super cute wedding bouquet. You can top them off with bows added to the sides. But here we have our focal flowers, our filler flower, or our secondary flowers. And then we have all these fillers, which is like the white, the little pom-pom florals. We have these little sprays of white coming out. And then all of our greenery is these little wisps of vines. eucalyptus, and you can tell that inside we've already covered the bottom with our Spanish moss. So this is what something like that would look like when it's finished. So following the same formula, it all applies. Another sample would be if you're doing cemetery sprays, right? So cemetery sprays are the same thing. Focal flowers, okay? We have our secondary flowers, which are the ranunculus or the hydrangeas. We have our Queen Anne's lace as our filler. The lavender is a filler. We have this ruscus grass leaves, which are our greenery. And then we've also topped in, I know I have it in here a little bit. We have these little limey green baby's breath pieces that we've tucked in along with the ranunculus florals. So we don't want to compact them in there so tight that there's no like foreseeable, like we don't want them packed into where they're like this. We want a good spacing on those in order to make it look beautiful like a big spray. So these techniques work all the way around for anything that you're attempting to do. Now, are you guys ready to start? Do you have any questions? Okay, so let me show you what we're doing first of all. So I'm kind of stuck because the foam block that I have is not quite tall enough to reach where I need it to be, which is either level or just a little bit above. I would prefer to have it just a little bit level. So I'm not going to be putting these in as a permanent structure because I want to be able to change this out as the seasons change because I love the container. So I need some things that are going to elevate me. So I found that on the floral foam block, they have these little base pieces. So I removed the base pieces. This is what it looks like. I trimmed it down because it was way too big because I just needed a little step in here. I have these little bump ups in my, whatchamacallit. I use these for shipping purposes. So they just kind of give me a little bit of a bump. So I'm just going to place these right on the inside, just like that. It's going to give me the bump up that I need. Perfect bump up. And then if you wanted to sandwich this really good, you could come in with some dry floral foam. And you could go ahead and cut in some little spacers. So I'm going to try to drop these in on either side just to keep that from moving. Oops, almost. There we go. So now we have no movement backwards and forwards. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one down. And I love working with the floral foam. Now the floral foam comes in two different styles. Both of them are the ones that you can push your fingers through. So there is a dry foam with the squishies, so you can squish those. There's also a wet foam. So if you wanted to incorporate and use that with fresh florals, you can go ahead and do that. So you just want to get the one that you need. Wet foam is for live florals, real ones, and dry foam is for the artificial or silk florals. So with that, we are going to, and I never fired up my glue gun. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. So that'll just take me a second because I need it to put all my peat moss on. The thing also I like about the dry foam and the wet foam is you can cut it with like the butter knife. So it's really super simple, but it does leave like a gritty feel on everything. So while we're waiting for that to fire up, I am going to separate my sunflowers. And I'm going to probably do these. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Usually I like to do them in odd numbers. So I'm just going to push these all the way up. I'm going to separate them from the stem. And I'm going to kind of leave a lot longer stem. I will trim those down when we go to put them in. So this one I like because it's a twofer. It has 2-1-1. And the same thing on this is a 2-for-1. So now that is set. Okay. I really should have had this prepped a little bit better so that we could add, like, all you're going to do is lay down a base of glue on the top so that we can add our floral foam to this. Let me go ahead and remove my tags off my florals. And you guys will get a materials list that shows where I got this from, so you can order the exact same thing. You will also get the video link for this video, and you will also get all the SKU numbers or item numbers so that you can shop. Now, some of these florals are from Greenery Market, and Greenery Market, I'm sorry to say, you cannot search for them by the item number. They have item numbers on them, but when you go to search for them, they are not there. So the first thing I'm doing is also pushing my green leaves up to the top. Not quite too far, but at least those are going to help to camouflage all the florals. And they're going to be, like, I want it basically like right in here. So you don't want to go more than double the height of your container. So I would never want to extend this 10 inches above, because then we've got something that is a little taller than what we need. And it has a tendency of falling. So we want to kind of keep everything in conjunction. So I'm looking at about just 5 inches up, and then we're going to do that spray pattern with everything. Okay, it looks like my glue gun is getting there. It's starting to do its little ooze. Let's go ahead and cut our greenery down, since we're going to come in with this too. I will go ahead and trim these. And I'm just going to separate all off the bottom. And this greenery was from Hobby Lobby. Oop. They're all jettisoning out. And these ones have, some of your florals will have where you can adjust your greenery up and down, and others are static, which means that you cannot make any adjustment to them. Okay, so there's that. And let's go ahead and trim up these so they're ready to use. We want about, let's see how many we have. I think some of these I took off. Yeah, we're going to use all of them. These are from Hobby Lobby. So we have our greenery. We have our focal flowers. You're going to see how fast this actually goes together when we make these. Okay, I'm going to attempt to, well, it's still not ready, even though we have it on high. And I have hot glue in the glue skillet, but I don't want to use that. So let me prep some of my other florals that we're going to be using. These are from the greenery, or no, these are, sorry, from Craft Outlet. Craft Outlet for those. And our Hobby Lobby's been picked pretty clean from all of those. So we're going to use all those pieces. There we go. That is all done. We need to remove the tag. So those are ready to go. Now it'd be great if our glue gun is ready. I'm going to go ahead and pull off our the bear grass. We have 4 pieces of our bear grass. 4? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are done. And I'm probably going to pick a couple of these. These are the baby's breath. I'm just going to separate those from the stem. And I'm always a big proponent too of counting about how many stems you're going to get as you put your florals in. So I think I probably need another 2 is what I'm guessing. Okay. Come on, glue gun. We need you to work. Okay. Yay, we've got the glue. We're just going to saturate the entire top with glue. It's going to kind of turn that kind of a weird color, but that's okay. Trying to make sure I get them all settled on there. Then we are going to take our peat moss, which is always super messy, and we are just going to add this to our base. It helps to camouflage exactly what we have going on. It just looks better overall too. Just like so. Add another little bit right there. So you can kind of tuck that in. Okay. That is just base coverage, so that if perchance somebody was to look at that, that's what they're seeing. Let me go ahead and get this all swept up, and then we're going to start to add all of our florals. Okay, there's that. Alrighty. It's always good to have a small dustpan handy. Alright, we're ready to start with our florals. So we are just going to take and we're just going to position these. I'm going to start right in the center with my focal, just like that. Kind of maneuver it so it's more standing straight up. Then I'm going to take my little sideways ones, kind of angle these out to the side. I have another one right here. This one's a little too big on the stem side. There we go with that. And then kind of good with that, but let me see. I'm going to set these 2 aside. Usually I do them in 3s and 5s, but since this is a rectangle, we've kind of done it this way. We might come back in and add those to the mix. So I'm going to push these up. These do allow me to make an adjustment to these, and we're just going to add our golden trumpets. I'm putting 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay. Push them up so that everything reaches where you want it to be. And then I have 1 more. And again, they can be higher or lower than you want. This one went a little too high for me. So I'm going to take this down. There we go. Just like so. So we've got the 3. We've got the 2. I've got these left over for later as well. Here's another one of these. Now we're going to come in and lay in some of our base greenery, which move. So these eucalyptus, we can move around. And we're going to put these, so they're all wired, so we can angle them downward. So I'm going to put one on each corner. So pushing them up. Angling that there. Going to turn that around. We're going to push those up. Trim it down. There's that one. Push them up. There we go. Okay. So we can just kind of lay those in. Now I want a couple of them in the center, kind of cascading away. So I'm just manipulating those so that I have one on each side. Just like that. So we're going to take these, do the same thing, push them up, angle one to the side, and one to the side. Just like so. Okay, now we're going to start coming in with some more greenery. We're going to add in our bare grass. And these ones, we don't want the stems to be taller than the actual plant is. So I'm going to come in and add one in here. Just like that. Bring these way down so that the grass is not as full as we want. I don't want it way up in the air. Again, right there. We have 2 more. We're going to put those on the ends by our sprays, kind of like right in here. Right inside. Leaning over. Pull those down. Okay, and then the same thing over here. I'm going to kind of move some of my leaves back. Oop, I got way too long of a stem. And I'm just kind of moving those little stems where I want them to go. So there is that so far. Let me get rid of all these pieces. Now we're going to come in and add in our floral sprays. Again, these push all the way up, so take advantage of that. Get everything up to the top. These are going to kind of go in between, right here to the outside, like that. So push up, push everything up. So right now, all you're doing is filling all your gaps. Some of these get really hard to push up. And then others go really super easy. This one just has a lot of little burrs in the side. Okay, again, another one here, pushing up. We're going to tuck this one in. So see how everything is still light and airy in that mix? Now we're going to add in our baby's breath. Same thing, we can push these all the way up to make those a little thicker. And these are going to go in between our eucalyptus, and we can actually bend these so that they now fill the bottom. So just push everything up, just like so. And I'm going to place that one right in between these. And if you need to make adjustments to your stems, you know, to pull those to curve them so they follow your container or your basket, these are all wired all the way up to the top. So just use those. Doing the same thing here, pushing them up, push up. Okay, just like we have so far. Still light and airy. I have 2 more of those filler bushes, so I'm actually going to use them because 2 is too few to use everywhere else. But I'm going to add my Queen Anne's lace first, and then we'll go in and make the adjustments on these and add those into our mix. What do you think so far? Isn't that pretty? It looks so nice. Let's see if I can get theirs. Oh, thanks, Nancy. She said that is beautiful. So, super simple, right? And I know you're thinking, well, it's super simple for you because you do it all the time. Actually, I don't. But I follow the formula that works all the time. So we're adding our Queen Anne's lace. So I'm just moving the greenery around so we have it on all 4 sides. And I'm going to kind of come in and tuck that a little bit below so that we're adding that on the inside. I save all of my greenery, even if there's nothing left on the stem, just so that you can add it if you need it to another. So I'm going to take this down a little bit, and I'm just cutting these so they're about 6 inches so that they just kind of go in and they add in a nice little filler. And I'd like to just take them and move them around. So I'm doing one here, here, kind of one in here and one around here. So again, pushing my greenery up, making that work. That one kind of stuck a little too far. There's that one. So greenery moved up, make that work for you. I'm going to pull my sunflower up just a touch so that the leaves on my sunflower are not getting squished by everything else. And then we're going to add a couple more of those little filler bushes wherever you'd like. So I'm adding one there. And I'm going to tuck one in over here. Sometimes you just got to turn them around so that we've added just a little bit more pops of yellow. Again, we have those little pieces. So I'm going to tuck these in and then kind of bring my little florals down around the bottom. And we have one more. So I'm kind of just tucking these in. Just like so. And then if you want to add some more of your eucalyptus, you can add these to the bottom. Again, I'm kind of adding them so they kind of come out the bottom of my handle. I have them pretty short. So I'm just tucking those into the corner so that we don't see that base inside. I need 2 more pieces of the eucalyptus. Let's grab, oh, I actually walked right by it. It must have fallen out. So I'm going to go ahead and trim here. Tuck in my little stem. So I'm just filling the little corners where you can still kind of see the edges of my container. So this is why you save your greenery, so that you can tuck them in so that you cannot see around the edges of your greenery. And I'm always like, I bring myself way down and I look and I say, can you see that? If you can, you might want to tuck another piece of your eucalyptus in there. But I am so loving this because it actually matches a wreath that I have made. So if you want to come in and add another couple sunflowers, you can. So I'm looking at like, because remember, none of my stuff is attached. So I'm just kind of moving my sunflowers to the out because I only have the 2 left. And I'm like, I can't really use them anywhere else. And we're just maneuvering all kinds of stuff around them. Again, I'll move this so it's a little bit higher. There we go. And there we have it. You could come in and you could add little bows to the outside if you want to add a ribbon, like a hand-tied bow. You could definitely do that. Let's see, do we have any? We do have some black and tan. So let's make a little hand-tied bow for each side. I love it. This is actually going to go on our kitchen table. It'll drive the cats crazy with all their little spiky pieces. But I love having different heights, different textures. Sometimes just moving your florals around. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to show you how easy it is just to make a simple hand-tied bow. So we're going to cut off the folded end. We're going to start with a dovetail end, just like this. We're going to cut from the folded side to the wired point. And then you want to kind of measure it to see like, hey, how long do you want to keep that before it really hits the bottom of your table. Mine is about 5.5 inches, which means it's going to roughly be a 3.5 to 4 inch loop, which means I need 7 inches to make a loop, because that makes a 3.5 inch loop. I'm going to twist it, measure another 7 inches. I'm going to put it back in my left hand. We're going to twist, and then we want 5.5 inches, just like so. Let's grab a pipe cleaner. I need beige, and I don't have any beige on my countertop. So let's do black. because black will blend better with my piece. So we're going to put our pipe cleaner in. Twist, twist, twist. We're going to go ahead and fluff that out. Fluff this out. We're going to dovetail that end. Just like this. Open up your loops. So now, because we have this here, you could make a pick. You could take an existing piece of your pipe cleaner or your stems and just wrap it around the stem. And then you can use this and poke this right into your arrangement wherever you want. I'm just keeping my pipe cleaners up to the top, just like that. And I am actually tucking this one in right here on my handle, so that right here is my adorable baby bow. It's just right on my handle. So we're going to make another one on the other side because we know exactly how to measure them. So we're dovetailing the end. We're measuring out 5.5 inches. You're going to take it in your right hand, transfer it to your left. Your left is just going to be a holding space. And then measure out 7 inches. You're going to gather, transfer, twist. Okay. Measure out another 7 inches, gather, transfer, twist. And then we're measuring out 5.5 inches. Grabbing another black pipe cleaner. And we're just going to go twist, twist, twist. We'll fan that out. Do you think I left that one a little longer? There we go. Nice and even. Just like that. So we have one on either side. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of my longer picks. So I'm taking that, placing it right at the base of my ribbon. And then I'm just winding my pipe cleaner all the way at the top. The other one, go the opposite direction. And just keep it wrapped right there at the top. Now we have a nice little pick, a hand-built pick. I think I made this one way too long though. Like right about there. So there's our bow. We're coming on the other side. And I'm just going to take that and stick that right in to my floral bouquet. And there you have it. We have our bows on both sides. Here is our bouquet, our floral bouquet. Super pretty. Doesn't need any water. It's going to look this amazing until you decide to replace it with something else, which is always a benefit. Here's another thing. If you go visit someone in ICU, they cannot have real florals, but you can bring them something like this that you have handcrafted really easily for very little money. It's very lightweight. Like I said, for me, because I didn't glue my florals in, I could just lift the entire thing right out, set that aside for summer, put another floral basket, the foam basket piece right in the center, and then retrofit this with fall colors, or I could just take this and start adding in, like I can pull out all the pieces of the eucalyptus that are regular green and swap them out for more fall. Maybe instead of leaving in the golden trumpet, I can pull this out and add in like a fall color mum and just swap out some of your florals. But That in a nutshell is exactly how you can put together a beautiful floral basket for your home. You could make these as gifts. These actually are amazing if you're ever having a craft fair and you're like, I don't know what else to bring. I don't know what else that I can sell at my craft fair. Make a couple floral arrangements. Go to the Dollar Tree and get a couple of their super cute metal containers. You could also use gaps and cracks, which once you start, you actually have to use the whole can, otherwise it just stops. But gaps and cracks allows you to add your own foam that stays in your container, and you just cut it off and then go ahead and start to work. So like when I do my gaps and cracks, I'll have like 8 different small containers and I fill them all up. You only fill them halfway because they will expand the other half. And then you have a whole bunch of these ready to go. Like for these, you know, we'll be making these for Christmas gifts to take as hostess gifts when we go visit during the holidays. And we can either add like fresh pine in here, some holly berries, some holly branches, some red roses look really great for Christmas. So there's just a multitude of different things you can do, and you can vary them depending upon what you put in your container. If you're making something like this for Halloween, you could put in some black roses. You could add little pops of purple in here, maybe add a couple bat picks, maybe tuck in a couple pumpkins, change out your ribbon, and you're good to go. But now you can make these for whatever purpose you have. And for cost wise, because I always get asked that question, well, how much would you charge? What you're going to do is factor in exactly how much did you pay for everything. And then you're either going to times it by 2 or you're going to times it by 3. It just depends on where you get your florals. Like if I got all of my florals at the Dollar Tree, I used about 6 different florals. That would average about $8.50. And then your container, $1.25. Your floral basket, or you could use floral foam. Obviously, if you times that by 2, it's not going to be sufficient enough. So timesing it by 3 or making it about what you think that should be worth, that's how you determine your pricing. It's all going to depend on you, and the more you do it, the easier it is. So don't forget, you can come back. We're going to take a break. I'm going to get all the stuff prepped for our mailbox swag, which is going to begin at 2:30 Pacific time, which is 4:30 Central time, which is 5:30 Eastern time, so that I can put a break in between these lives and then prep everything. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to make one for all the patriotic holidays. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to put it on. I'd love to be able to take you out and show you how I put it on my mailbox, but it is pouring rain right now. So I do have a prop mailbox, but I'm going to show you how we're going to attach that. So I hope you guys will come back and join me. Other than that, hope you guys having an amazing time. And thanks for joining me. Bye for now.